Welcome to the DJNTV Chill Room Chat, your space to unwind and talk shop. This episode is sponsored by MadeByDJs.com, innovative tools designed specifically by DJs for DJs. DJEventPlanner.com, the industry standard for streamlining your business and booking faster. And DJRequests.com, the easiest way to manage your dance floor's vibe in real time. Support the show by using our Amazon affiliate link at DJNTV.com/Amazon. Now, let's get into the mix.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Here we are again. Yeah, I am here in Massachusetts. We had a blizzard, big deal. So we had to postpone our show for Monday.
Yeah, what'd you get? Like 5 feet out there? 5 feet of snow? What'd you get?
Well, we got a 3/4 Dennis. If
Wow.
you can picture, it was up to his neck. No, we got 2 feet here, and
That's a lot.
well, it is, and especially when you had that last storm we had, it just my backyard is like a big mountain because my wife goes out and she'll snow blow like a racetrack around it so our dogs can go out and do their business and run, you know.
I heard you got more on the way. Is that true? Like this weekend or something? I heard there was more storms coming.
Shut your mouth.
I heard 5. I heard 5 feet.
Oh God, yeah. Well, if that's the case, you guys are coming on over here with shovels, okay?
Okay.
But anyway, so we had to postpone due to this, and tonight Matt actually came up with a great topic. And first of all, before we screw this all up, let's thank our sponsors.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Let's do that.
Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, let's see. How about Electro Voice?
Beautiful. Kevin, what do you got, my friend?
Eating.
I just said that.
He just said that. Oh. Normally,
Pay attention.
Normally, I would stop recording and start over, but I'm not going to. No.
DJ Event Planner.
Oh my God, they are great. And I'm going to give you the Amazon link.
You are?
Which is DJNTV.
God.
Yeah,
/Amazon.
Amazon. When you go to order anything on Amazon, you help keep us on air. Use that before you go order. You're not going to miss out on their deals. You're not going to miss out on your overnight delivery. Just use that, and that'll help us stay on the air. Thank you out there in YouTube, Spotify, listening. And Kevin found somewhere else that we're at, and we'll get into that after the show, where we are cartoon figures. Is that? Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that after. But Matt, what is your topic tonight?
Yeah, so I was thinking something to the point of like, you don't want to come across as a host. You don't want to as a host. You don't want to come across as like being like a dictator with too many rules, because you want to draw more patrons in. You want to be liked as a host, so you don't want to be like the parent type that's like, you can't do that or whatever. Then the establishment probably has their own set of rules that we have to follow. But yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you don't want to have like a bunch of rules that like will scare patrons away from you and push them to someone else.
So you don't want to be the bad guy.
You don't want to be the bad guy,
so to speak, right? Kevin,
Yeah,
do you
you don't
have
want to be
any
the mean host.
examples? You have any examples, Kevin, of how this
Well, I
could
have a
make you the bad guy? Or no, be nice. We're monitored by the FCC. I'm kidding. Go
what
ahead.
you want examples of rules or what do you mean? What do you want?
How would you make the venue rules? How would you make the venue rules? Help me out here, Matt. So it didn't fall on you as the host. Is that what we're getting at? I believe. Like you want
Possibly.
to,
But I
yeah.
mean, the venue has their rules, but then you also have rules too where like I mean, you just recently had something happen at your gig
Mm.
where you went outside to have a smoke break or whatever, and then somebody decided to just walk up to your computer and just start typing and messed up whatever you had going on,
Stopped all procedure. Yep. Stopped
you
all
know?
music. Stop. Yeah.
I
So I mean,
guess
that's a common sense thing right there where it's like, don't
Mm-hmm.
touch anything,
I
right?
sort of
That's common
I sort
sense.
of I
Another
sort of
common sense thing
explained.
is don't have any drinks up there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, basically what he's saying is I have a rule and then I explain why we have the rule.
Okay.
Like
What
the
is that?
drinks. Well, the drinks.
Mm.
It gets spilled, it gets on my stuff don't work, we're done.
Right.
Do you would like you to work through the whole night? So let's be considerate and keep our drinks there at the table, at the
Mhm.
bar, and just come up empty-handed. So I try to give them a scenario this is why we're doing what we're doing because it makes it so we can get through the whole night of playing music, or doing karaoke or whatever. So
I've actually
I
seen some
I ch-
places that have where the hosts have a microphone stand that actually have like
a
an
little drink
attachment
holder
to them, like a drink
below.
holder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like watching Toby Keith in concert.
Does
He
he have
used
one of
to
those?
have a, yeah, no, I don't have one of those,
Uh,
but
No, did
here's what
Toby
you
have that?
can do. He did. He had a cup holder on his
Okay.
mic stand. Yeah, when he sang. Anyway, you'd have to YouTube and watch his concerts,
Sure.
but always that was his. And it's funny because as he was out there doing his concert, like one of the stage hands would come out and he'll hold the empty cup and go, "Hey, I'll do this again," or whatever, and they'll
They'll
go
bring him another
refill it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fill them up. Yeah.
yeah, we don't have that luxury. But Kevin, to your point, some of my venues, and even if they don't, I
Hmm.
will do it.
Hmm.
Because all these venues have little tables, right? I will put a table up on the stage away
Hmm.
from me.
Hmm.
If they want to
Probably.
come up, I get it because some songs have like
Yeah.
long instrumentals they want to drink. That's fine.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
put it on that table and not near my stuff,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
I'm
one way
fine.
to eliminate it, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And there's usually been a space that they can put them. There's like a windowsill on at the one place and other
Hmm.
other situations. They wanted me to get a barrel out, and it's like, well, it's a little difficult, and then put it back in the corner. But you know,
A
I'm
what?
I'm a barrel, whiskey barrel. They had it was
Okay.
like a,
Well,
but
are
it's
they
like,
gonna carry it up for you? And yeah,
well, no, they're saying, oh, if you want to go get that, and it's like, no, I'm not lifting that out.
yeah, yeah.
I got enough hernias. So it's I'm fine with that. If I can avoid mentioning a rule, that's fine. I do have the begin because it creates chaos. Is I try to have the rule is everybody has to go through the app one way or the other. Either they can do it themselves or, because what happens if you start opening up a can of worms with, well, I'll let you write it down on the paper. Then everybody else wants to start doing that. And it becomes a free
Right.
for all. And people are, thinking, well, you crossed off that one, I should be next. No, there's all the ones that were doing it through the app. So I try
See,
not to.
see, and now that I don't want to interrupt you, but that whole app thing was in
Yeah,
previous shows of
yeah,
ours.
yeah.
But like a lot of KJs still use slips, right? Or not a
Pretty
lot. I
pretty
think,
much most
yeah,
everybody here does do slips. There's one
yeah,
DJ
yeah.
or KJ that I've been to show his show. He has he has to create his own little Wi-Fi network, and he has like a iPad or something he's doing it on.
Hmm.
So
Well, you could do
um,
it that way too, but
my regular said, it's okay, it's not great. The people who have been around my setup, they enjoy the fact that you're not up there sort of infringing upon the person singing, turning in your slip, because they don't have to come up until it's their time to sing.
the difference, real quick, the difference between an app and an iPad is now you're responsible. You own that iPad out there where they're signing up at. Who
Yeah.
knows what's going to get spilt on that?
Yeah. Or dropped,
When you're using
broke.
an app, it's their own phone. So
Hmm.
now they're going to take, precautions to make sure nothing
Yeah.
gets spilt on it, right? When they're
Yeah.
trying to sign up.
Mhm.
So look, I get what these people did, and I've ran across KJs that brought these laptops for you to sign. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
used to do that.
what's gonna stop them from taking a drink, putting it down? They hit the straw, and
Yep,
now your laptop is out. And now you can't even take requests for the night, right?
yep.
Let them use their own phone. And believe me, they're gonna take those steps they need to take to make sure nothing gets damaged, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I've been doing it for years, and
So,
it's been working. Knock on wood.
yeah. I hate making rules, but I see it as sort of, a necessary function. I try to make them lighthearted. Being joking with them. It's like, hey, remember, no drinks.
Well, I
We
mean,
want to
it's a
make,
no-brainer that you do need to have some rules in place,
yeah,
obviously, right?
yeah.
But
I
you
mean,
don't
I
want
don't,
to be like over the top where you have like a list of like 25, 30, 40, 50 rules that make you look like a dictator. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So that's
yeah,
kind of what I was getting at because I've been to some shows like that where they have like this, there's like 2 pages of rules or whatever, and it's like can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, can't do that, and it's like, come on,
Yeah, it's like reading the 12
yeah.
Commandments, right? It's,
10,
Through.
10,
really, yeah.
10.
Well, we got a couple extra. This is
I added two because
this
it's
is the
karaoke,
dozen,
but yeah.
dozen, going dozen.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's, and then we eliminate from 12 down to, and by the time we're done, we end up
like
with
George Carlin.
two, two, right? Yeah, that's why I said that. I'm
Yeah.
glad you caught on,
Uh,
Matt. Yeah, see, Matt is very, very observant.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, my rules, I don't have any.
You don't have any rules?
It's the venue that has the rules.
uh,
And I hate being the tattletale, so to speak. But like now, this time of year, you're not allowed to bring a drink outside that door
Mm-hmm.
mm,
because we used to have it was barricaded and it was like
uh,
a deck.
Patio, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So now I find myself because I don't look the liquor they shut us down. I'm out. I'm done.
Right.
You know? So I'll say to the doorman, I'll just go like this, and he'll know somebody brought a drink outside, you know?
Mm.
get them back in, and we don't throw them out. It's just because they are used to having that
Outdoor
capability.
space.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's the
So these
only
patrons they still have access to that fenced in area or whatever,
Those
that
side
patio,
door or something.
not
or
not during the winter months. No,
okay,
it's from say I don't know. I'm gonna
in like
Memorial to
spring
Labor,
to fall,
don't, yeah, yeah, right. Don't quote me.
Halloween.
Say April to
Yeah.
October.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween.
And yeah, but I don't want them to lose their liquor license. All it takes is one cop to drive down and see somebody out there with a Corona and say, that's public drinking. We know he got it in there, and we could have some issues. Uh,
We lost
John,
the
that's all right. That's all right. We're gonna
yeah.
keep rolling. Yeah. We lost our scroll. We got our advertisements
Okay.
and whatever. But no, other than that, my only rule is don't drop my mic. You know,
Hmm.
I
Mhm.
want everybody in there to have a good time, have fun. You know,
Right.
it's all about making memories, right? I mean,
Hmm.
Yeah.
most of
I
these
don't know.
singers, go ahead, Kevin.
No, I just was, it's like,
Kevin's always ready to bail me out. Go ahead.
well, no, the thing is I got that rule too. Don't drop the mic, which is sort of pretty much
Yeah,
just, you should be a conscientious person, and it's not your equipment, so don't do damage to someone else's stuff.
right.
So
Well,
to me, it
just like
seems like
somebody coming up
it's a
and touching
no-brainer.
my MacBook.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean that
touch it.
just seems like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not yours. You
yeah.
don't touch someone. You
It
can come
should
up
be
and look,
common sense.
you know.
Common
It should
sense.
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
Right.
But it's
but
it's amazing how sometimes you have to
common sense is
reinforce
lacking these days.
yeah, you have
Mm.
to reinforce the common sense. It's like everybody thinks everything's public property. It's
Right.
not. Did you
Yep.
Yeah.
pay the taxes on this? Did you buy it? No.
Mm.
So you
Yeah.
don't touch it. Um, so it's one of those things where I guess I don't know, and we probably don't have time. What are some of the places that you guys have mentioned rules that I guess I didn't even think about?
Well, like VFWs and Legions, they have their own standard rule of like no profanity, no foul language.
Mm.
Oh, so they can't pick a song that has
Explicit
language in it.
lyrics. Right.
And how do you know? Does your karaoke tell you or not?
If
Sometimes it will say explicit. However, you can do clean, but the singers are still going to sing the
Say whatever.
explicit,
Yep.
period.
Okay.
And you cannot control that, correct,
No.
Matt?
Correct.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
so again, that's not on us as
Yeah.
KJs.
Right.
They're
That rule
going
That's
to
seems
that's the
like,
play.
venue rule.
yeah.
So if the venue has a problem with it,
Yeah.
the manager comes and says,
Yeah.
hey, you're gone.
Let them know. Oh.
Or they give them a
Oh.
Well,
warning.
Oh, okay.
they'll have to deal with it, not you.
They deal with that,
Right,
not you.
right,
Yep.
Now,
right.
is that a rule that changes depending on the time of the night? Because I know one place it's a family-friendly karaoke, and then there's another one where they do family karaoke for an hour or something, and it's like the next two or three or whatever is, all you know, all you can say, whatever.
Anything
So
goes.
yeah,
Huh.
anything goes. So I guess the places I've been, I haven't had problems with language. They don't worry about that. It's a bar. It's not a big time family thing. So I haven't had any
Right, right.
issues
That's
in the places
different.
I've been up.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a regular bar, like a dive bar or something like that,
Yeah.
like your corner bar down the street, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not an establishment like a VFW or a Legion
Yeah.
type of a
Which is more
place.
of
Do
a
they
mixed
have
use.
rules
My
at the Elks, don't they?
Well, no, the Elks, no, because it's all 21 plus
Okay.
members. But my Friday night gig, which is at a Chinese restaurant in Drake at Mass, So you do have families coming in there, and I start at 8. This is 8 to midnight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have, and God, this girl must be 13 tops, right?
Mm.
And they come in every Friday night. They spend money, they eat, the parents drink. And this girl, the first song she ever did in karaoke there was It's a Heartache, Bonnie Tyler. And I'm like, how the hell do you even know this song?
Parents.
You know,
Yep.
exactly. The parents. She was brought up with this good music.
Yep.
Now she's playing a harmonica or
Mm.
piano man. She'll
Sure.
do that. She's become one of the big
Attraction.
regulars on a Friday night that just they're all waiting to see what the hell she's gonna do next. Now, granted, she don't stay till midnight. You know, they come
Yeah.
in 7, eat, you know.
Mhm.
They're waiting for me to start taking a request. They usually gone by 10. So after 10, I think all underage are gone, you
Gone.
know.
Mhm.
But you've got to follow that rule if you're in that kind of establishment to be like, use your head, look around, no underage. Okay, now you can start. And I don't even know what, I can't even name some of the songs because we're on YouTube. But I
Mhm.
mean, you could start doing the explicit, you know. Um,
Like crazy rap.
yeah,
You
okay,
know,
well,
that's a
perfectly
that's
played.
an
There
explicit
you
song.
go. Right.
That's like the ultimate in explicit songs, really, I think.
Or she hates me,
Yeah.
Puddle of Mud, where they use the,
Yeah.
the F bomb in there, and
Right. Yep.
um, Kevin's thinking about it. We might have to play the for
Yeah.
him
Or You Ought to
later.
Know by Alanis Morissette. That has an F bomb in it.
Yeah, but I think you could probably get away with that.
Yeah.
I
There's
think.
some hosts. There's some hosts
Yeah,
that
yeah,
say,
yeah.
well, if it's in the lyrics, then it's acceptable.
No, but again,
But I
these
think it
are
it comes down to the venue that you're in the end.
that's it.
Or
These
have if you guys have run across this song and you know it's coming up, do you go ahead and mute their mic or turn it down when it comes to that word and then back up?
I
Yep.
don't have the
I've
time
done that.
for that sometimes. I'm not gonna be there to mute mics, you know.
Okay.
Uh no, it's all or nothing with me. So it's either the right time to do this or you're not doing it. And that's where programming comes in. It's like,
Mm.
when you can do this and do it freely the way you want to do it, you're going to wait. You'll wait until I see the coast is clear, per se, right? For you to do it.
Mhm.
That F her gently. I get people wanting to do that at 8 o'clock, and it's like,
No.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
And,
it's
well,
to
come
me
on, I
it's
gotta leave. I gotta leave. I'm like,
And
leave.
leave.
It's not
leave and come
that
back.
2.5 minute
Yeah.
song is not gonna bother me, period. You
Mm.
know? I mean,
Yeah. A lot of
anyway.
this ties in also to being a DJ. You don't early on you're playing cocktail and dinner, and even if you get into dance and there's still some older people there or kids still there, I try to shy away from, and I have clean versions anyways because I do a lot of school stuff. But sometimes if I get later on, then I really don't really worry about which version I'm going to play. If I got to, I'll play the full
Yeah, it don't
languaged one.
matter.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's just a bunch of adults there. They're not old, and they almost sort of expect it or don't have a problem. So,
But what I found,
Or you play the
Kevin,
clean one and they're coming up to you going, "Hey, why are you
we need to
playing the
hear
clean version?"
we need to
You
hear
know?
that word.
okay, I got 2 points for what Kevin just said and Matt. One, Kevin, if you're doing a clean version at a school dance, say,
Mhm.
these students are going to sing the explicit no
Yep.
matter what version you play.
Yeah.
And who gets blamed? You, the DJ. And all you can do is refer to, look, I played the radio version. They
Yeah.
sang the dirty word. Now, Matt, to you, huh, they it don't matter what you do or what you try to do, right? It's going to happen. Now, let's just say you're at a wedding, right?
Yeah.
And you play the clean version, right? Or say you're at a bar and you hit the clean version, right?
Mhm.
They will come up to you and say, come on, we're all 21 here. Why are you doing
Yeah.
the clean? And my answer to them is, look, I do a lot of weddings. I don't just do this. I do a lot of weddings. I do a lot of school functions. So the clean version is what I always normally refer to.
Yep.
Mhm.
You out there can sing the dirty part just like them kids do at my school events.
Mhm.
You know,
And on
it's
the
like
flip side,
you can't win, right?
right? And on the flip side, let's say you're at a wedding and it's like, I don't know, 11 o'clock or whatever, and grandma's still there, and you do play the dirty version.
Wow.
She's gonna be offended by that, and the next thing you know, you're gonna have like a bad review, and it's gonna just
Well,
snowball. You know what I mean? So like,
first of
you
all,
never know who's
grandma should have left after the cake,
true.
period.
True.
Yeah.
However, that's beyond our control.
Right.
And between us three in this room and you guys watching, grandma knows a lot of vocabulary.
Mm.
And she could teach us words that we don't even know. So, you know what? Let's wrap it up. You
All right.
guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And God, yeah, we covered a lot of things here tonight. But
We did.
hopefully, you guys watching got something out of it because I certainly didn't. But thank you to our sponsors, Kevin. You are a stud muffin.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you
Right,
very much.
right. Oh, Matt even gave you the
he's
growl. Do that
he's
again.
a oh,
All
he's
right.
a
Good
stud
night,
muffin.
guys. Good night, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank
See
you
you
for
again.
tuning in. Oh.